We are 144 hours into speedrunning RuneScape's endgame. How fast can you reach a raid from level 3? Today, we find out. Okay, so some good news and some bad news. Bad news is I just died in LMS, but good news, I don't have to do LMS anymore for GP because I don't need to make money anymore on this account. After I lost my blowpipe the last video, as well as that Gmaul and the Avarice, I needed to make some money back, and thankfully, I made it all back, and we do not need to make any more GP on the account. At least we shouldn't have to. Okay, so I'm probably not going to be going back to LMS anytime soon. Admittedly, probably ever in a series like this, at least. If I ever do another account like this, I am not going to be going back there. I am just too burnt out. We made our money back, though, 6 mil. I'm going to be buying back the blowpipe as well, since I am going to need it for the final raid. So I do have a little bit of leftover cash, plus I have a decent amount of stuff to sell that I got from Revs as drops. I'm kind of glad that I waited to sell all this, like the dragon, plus some of the stuff that I anti-PK too. I haven't actually sold any of it yet. All of this should go for a decent amount. And again, I'm pretty confident in the fact that I'm not going to need to make any more money on this account. So that first inventory sold for about 3.6 mil, but I still have another inventory worth of stuff to sell. Now this inventory is the one with all of the expensive stuff. So this should give us a green cash stack. There we go. So all of that brings us up to a 7.8 mil cash stack, plus we still have some GP in the bank. So I'm going to try to value how much I have. So this is basically all of the wealth that I have on this account at the moment. And we have 25 mil. I just did a little bit more shopping since we need to go for our next goal now, 70 prayer. We have about 1,200 bones that we need to get through, but thankfully this should be pretty quick.
Hey, you like dragons, right?
What?
You like dragons?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too bad that all the dragons in RuneScape suck.
Do I know you?
Not like the dragons in Call of Dragons, the new hot MMO fantasy conquest game from the creator of Rise of Kingdoms.
Oh, I know that game.
Yeah, I'm talking now. Call of Dragons welcomes you to Tamaris, a picturesque fantasy realm where you can choose between 3 factions like the cunning humans, the strong orcs, or the magical elves, where you can become the greatest leader that Tamaris has ever known.
All right.
Build your own fantasy city, conquer and explore the world of wonders, and also tame and harness the power of mighty dragons to achieve victory. You can also acquire and command behemoths to aid you in battle like a hydra or a flame dragon. Heck, even the magma daemon can be used to heal your forces.
Okay.
The game is incredible, the world is immersive, and you should absolutely download Call of Dragons now using my link in the description to start your adventure today. Also, use the promo code PLAYCOD now in-game to get special rewards.
All right, I'll do it now.
Thanks.
Yeah. All right, so the true question here is, can we go a single episode without dying in PvP? I'm gonna guess yes, but maybe that's because I just don't want to die again. Okay, so I didn't actually die this time around, but I do have to do 5 more inventories of like 200 bones at a time, so there's still a chance. Oh. Okay. I gotta go. Oh my gosh, dude. So many newbie PKers out here. I think I bring a whip to anti-PK with. Oh, another PKer. Pure. And he's gonna attack me, isn't he? Yeah. So, oh, perfect. Maybe I should have brought a magic short bow instead of a whip. Yeah, I'm gonna bring an MSB as well. Just at 65 prayer, and there's actually a chance that we don't die at this point. I mean, we only have 5 more levels to go, which isn't that much. Oh no. Bone Stealer's on me. Oh no, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna fight him back. That's what I'm gonna do. I should have brought a DDS. Dude, how lame is this guy? He brought Rings of Recoil to fight Bone Runners at the Chaos Altar. Why? You know, despite the fact that I've done so much damage to him, I overstayed my welcome. And I died. No way this Bolt Ragger's gonna get on me. Dude, you're literally gonna follow me this far? Holy crap. You need the bones this bad. Holy crap. How far is he willing to follow me? How far are you willing to go? You can't even attack me anymore and you're still following me. No way this guy is still following me. This guy doesn't know when to give up. You physically can't attack me. He's just outside of the range in which you could actually attack me. There's somebody else I'm running into. What is this? What are you doing here? Put that back on. What do you have? Monkfish. There we go. 70 prayer. We are done. Now we just have to unlock piety. A nice little bonus of using the Chaos Altar. I actually had extra dragon bones here, so I get a little bit of GP back, which is nice. Looking like about 500k. We've got to get another requirement out of the way, so this should be enough to get us 55 fire making. All right, there's 50 fire making. I actually decided to do the last 5 fire making levels at Wintertod. And there's 55 fire making. So now I'm going to actually open up these crates in a minute. The game's almost over. If we get any sort of luck here, we might get a little bit of GP, maybe a tome, maybe even a pet. Nothing yet so far. Nothing in the first 3 crates. Maybe something in this one? No. Maybe something in this one? No. And last crate. No. We need to get 20 construction, which we can start off by completing the mini quest Daddy's Home for 8 construction. And with that should be 20 construction. So now we can actually go get our new best in slot helmet. We're going to be completing an iconic quest here. And with an iconic quest, you need to have iconic armor. That is the Fremennik Isles completed, which unlocks the Helm of Natus Knot, which is going to be the helmet that we are wearing when we go and complete this raid. I just want to take a quick moment to appreciate how iconic this gear is. It's time to go for another upgrade. I'm going to be buying some amethyst darts, and I am going to be going for a fire cape.
Damn, you killing red. Killing that cinnamon dog.
Wait, no, tank a hit to unlock the achievement.
Oh yeah,
I'm
you
great,
do want to
man.
do
Thank
that.
you.
No, you should do that. You should do
I'll
that.
give you 100 mil.
Why would you not tank a hit? You have a brew. There's no way he would kill you. It's literally like a 6% chance he kills you.
There's no way. 6% chance.
It's just too easy, man. You're not going to do well in there, but I did. So don't
Good.
worry.
I was hoping you'd shit talk that guy.
If you enjoy my videos, then consider subscribing. I'm going to be starting a brand new series at 450,000 subscribers. Thanks. I bought 2 more upgrades, the obsidian plate legs as well as the obsidian plate body. The upgrades are starting to roll in fast here, so I am going to continue on that trend and get myself a dragon defender, which will once more be another best in slot. I'm starting off with 900 tokens, which pretty much means that I have 90 minutes to get as many defenders as I can in here. Okay, only took 12 minutes to get ourselves a bronze defender. Hopefully we keep up that luck. Okay, the iron defender. That one only took us about 15 minutes there. The luck is pretty on point. Only 11 minutes for the steel defender. Another 11 minutes for the black defender. The luck is insane right now. Bro, that was 1 minute. From the black defender to the mithril defender, that took me a minute. What the hell? I have never been as lucky getting defenders as I've been right now. That was only another 9 minutes. And 11 minutes later, we get the rune defender. I got from bronze to rune within 70 minutes. That is basically unheard of for me in my luck. There's probably better luck out there realistically, but that is like insane luck for me to get the rune defender within 70 minutes. I decided to get a few more tokens, so now I have another hour's worth to get myself a dragon defender, which hopefully we don't need all of this. 49 minutes for me to get the dragon defender. It only took me like 2 hours from start to finish to get every defender at the Warriors Guild. That is incredible luck. Next up on the bucket list, we need to get ourselves 55 crafting. Well, that definitely wasn't cheap, but 55 crafting. So with the little money that I have left, I'm going to be purchasing an abyssal dagger because I needed to train strength, but not just strength. I'm going to be going for 75 attack, 75 strength, and 75 defense. And while those stats aren't going to be great, I think they'll be just good enough for a TOA completion. About 8.5 hours of strength training later, and we are 75 strength. So now we move on to attack. It's been like another 8 hours and change, and we finally hit 75 attack. So we only have one thing left to do, and that is train our defense to 75. I don't know if I want to admit how many times I've nearly been nerd logged on this account, but we are close to 75 defense. Like another 8+ hours has gone by, and we are finally done training our combats. That is 75 defense, and we are currently 7 days and 12 hours in. At this point, I pretty much predict that we're going to be able to complete this raid within the next 12 hours. I don't think we're going to hit day 8. I think we get this raid entirely knocked out within day 7. Well, I just lost 80k selling that abyssal dagger. That's sad. Plus, I got 2 lamps. I just realized that getting those 2 XP lamps was perfect because I can put both of them on herb lore, which brings me to 18 herb lore, which is the exact level that I need. I also needed 30 smithing, so there's that. This is the last stat that I have to train on this account, and now it is finally done. 45 mining. It has now become that magical time where we have to do 6 quests all in a row. That's Murder Mystery. That is the Black Knight's Fortress. That is the Jungle Potion. We also have Shiloh Village. And of course, everyone's favorite quest, One Small Favor. Now, all of that was so we could do this quest, the King's Ransom, just so we can unlock Piety, but Piety's still not yet unlocked. In order to unlock Piety, I pretty much just have to sit here and flinch these guys for like the next, I don't know, 15 minutes, but it's not all that bad because I'm not going to be taking any damage in the process. And that is the last of the Knight's training waves. We have now officially unlocked Piety. With this prayer, we're practically guaranteed to be able to finish this raid. So there's still 2 more upgrades that I can make. First, I'm going to sell my brimstone ring so I can get a bit of cash. And the first upgrade that I'm going to make is the Light Bearer, which the Light Bearer is a very powerful ring. This ring is so good because it regenerates the player's special attack twice as fast. And you're going to see why that is so important to have later on. I also bought a Kraken tentacle to attach to my whip later on to make it a bit stronger, but I'm not going to be using it just yet. So I'm going to be making one last final upgrade to the account, and that's by completing Major Arena 1 and Major Arena 2. You know, I was just thinking about this. This is probably the highest combat level that I've ever done Major Arena 1 on. I basically always get Major Arena 1 done way earlier in the account's progression on any account that I make. I never really liked this part of Major Arena 2 where you have to cast 100 of each spell before you can even do it. It just feels a little bit cumbersome to do. Wait. No way. Dude, that is so funny that this guy is skull tricking here and I basically just fell for it. I mean, I didn't actually because I have skull protection on, so I won't skull no matter what, but that is so funny. There we go. Now we can actually do Major Arena 2. Does anyone else feel like they have way too many mechanics in this game where you touch a thing to find another thing, but that thing hurts you, so you can't really use that thing to find the thing too often? Does anyone else think that? This guy has such a goofy name. Parazidir? Anyway, that's Parazidir down. Bro, I swear that some of these guys have like the dorkiest names possible. This thing's name is Derwin. Like, what's going on with you, Derwin? Why'd your mom give you that name? Anyway, here's your heart, I guess. I don't know. Okay, this guy's name is actually pretty cool though. Just this year's Zachariah. Like, you're just cool. I'll hang out with you, bro. Like, if I wasn't killing you right now, I would totally hang out with you. You're probably just chill. Plus, he only loses his hand, not even his heart. That's just a cool body part to lose. This marks the last upgrade that I can make on this account before raids, the Imbued Ceridome Cape. This thing just looks cool, man. Of course, it belongs to the coolest guy, too. Just this year's Zachariah. Everyone should comment down below that the Imbued Ceridome Cape is the coolest god cape out there. It is finally time. Beneath Cursed Sands, we have that complete. We got the Karis Partisan from it. We just need to go get our final gear, and then it is finally time to take on the Tombs of Amasket. For our mage weapon, we're going to be rocking a Trident of the Seas, which is why I had to get 75 magic specifically so I could wear this thing. I'm also going to be selling these amethyst darts and buying dragon darts with whatever little money I have remaining. I probably only need like 500 realistically, which I can't even get 1,000. So I'll do 700. 700 is going to be a good enough number to go for. This is going to be the final setup that we enter the Tombs of Amasket with. We're going to be entering the Tombs of Amasket with a combat level of 95, and these are going to be the stats that we enter in with. These stats that I'm going to be entering in with are probably the bare minimum that you would need to be able to complete a raid. You definitely should be doing raids like this with at least base 85 combat stats, if not base 90, but we're on a time limit, so this is going to have to do. The way that RuneScape's third raid works is based off of an invocation system, and currently there are 0 invocations on, so the raid is set to level 0. Basically, that means that this raid is set to an entry-level raid, which is not considered to be end game content. So to actually make this considered to be a normal end game raid, we have to add these invocations to scale up the raid. For example, one of the invocations that I'm going to run is called Hardcore Run, which is effectively going to make it that if I die, the raid is over. And now that I've added it, I've scaled the raid by 25 levels. All of our invocations are now set to make this a normal level raid, and despite the fact that it's a normal level raid, this is still going to be difficult with this account's stats. The Tombs of Amasket has 4 different bosses that you have to defeat before going up against the 5th and final boss. We're going to be starting off by first going into the Path of Krondis, aka Zabak's room. Each path has its own little puzzle that you need to solve before being able to take on the boss of said path. The puzzles haven't actually changed since the release of TOA, so all of these puzzles are effectively solved. They're not that hard. Pretty sure I'm going to get the achievement for Perfect Krondis, because it's really not that hard. The actual challenge lies in the boss itself. The first boss up is Zabak, arguably the easiest boss of the raid, which is why I've set 4 invocations to it that will definitely add an extra layer of difficulty to the fight. Since this is the most invocation heavy boss, I figured I'd get it out of the way first. Out of all 3 raids in this game, the Tombs of Amasket has got to be my favorite since it's mechanically the easiest to understand. I mean, by far out of all 3 raids, I've done the Tombs of Amasket the least, but I feel like I know this raid the best out of all 3 raids. Pretty soon here, Zabak is about to activate one of 2 special attacks, which one of them is a lot more annoying than the yep, this one, of course. He lays a bunch of acid pools everywhere, which you have to avoid, otherwise you'll take damage. He also lays jugs and these 2 rocks. So you have to push this jug near that rock and then have that rock clear the acid pool so you don't take damage. And now we are safe from this screaming attack that he's about to do, which I guess that's what you would call it. I mean, it's like basically a screaming attack. If you step in that, you're basically dead within a few game ticks. Okay, so we're back to this phase again, which is just an annoying phase because normally these jugs will clean a 5x5 area. It's pretty easy to clean up the acid, but they're only cleaning a 3x... Oh, God. They only clean a 3x3 area now. So I have very little time here to destroy this jug and get behind this thing and not die. And I overstepped and I'm screwed. Well... crap. So yes, I did in fact have to reset, and this is in fact a new raid. If I somehow manage to die again, I will once more wipe. So I'm going to avoid dying at all costs. I'm stepping on this. That's not happening again. I'm not risking that once more. I'm going to hit this to heal up for some special attack and heal this one as well. This should be Zabak done and dusted. I don't think I'm going to have to show up at this guy again because that death was a really silly death. I don't think I'm going to die again. If I do actually end up dying though, it's not going to be as mechanically stupid as that death. The next path up is the Path of Scarabus, aka Kefri's room. Out of all 4 paths, this is probably my favorite puzzle room. I don't know why it's my favorite. Like, it's just fun and easy to do, I guess. Like, I don't know. It's just satisfying. The next boss up is Kefri. Kefri is going to be the last easy boss of this raid, since the other bosses are definitely a big step up in difficulty. It is so clutch that Beneath Cursed Sands gives you the Karis Partisan because it is best in slot at Kefri. Okay, so this isn't gonna sound real, but it actually is. Do you see all these flies spinning around me? Well, that's about to indicate I'm about to be knocked back like that and then have poop thrown at me. And what you actually have to do is lair that poop, which again, I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's an actual strategy. So I'm gonna wait until he has to throw poop on me again. Okay, so the fly should be coming up here any minute. There we go. So now I want to stand directly next to the last layer of poop that I created. And now I created a second barrier next to that initial barrier. So the reason why you have to do that is because you can't actually pass through the barrier. And if you're in this room for long enough, which with these stats, I'm probably going to be in this room for a while, you actually block off a lot of the access you have to this room, and you can completely fail the room just because of these walls of poop. So you have to lair them. Kefri has a total of 4 phases though, so I could be in here for a while, but I'm hoping not. I'm nearly done with this second phase here, and I can actually show you another benefit to layering in the way I did. So the mage boy spawned right here. I'm able to attack him just fine, but oh, okay, I didn't move for some reason. I thought I did. But you see this little melee guy here? Let me actually kill this guy first. Okay, yeah, so notice this guy right here, how he's trapped. He's not able to attack me whatsoever. The only thing that he is able to do is just heal Kefri, and he's not even healing her that much. He's healing her 4 HP like every 4 seconds, 3 seconds. It's not terrible at all. I know I'm being a little bit stubborn here at the moment since my HP and my prayer are dangerously low, but I don't want to use a single supply. And plus, I think she's going to die here anyway. Yeah. I need every supply I can get for the remaining 2 bosses and potentially the last boss as well. Now that we defeated 2 bosses, we get to actually claim a supply drop, which we'll be able to claim this supply drop again after the next 2 bosses. And I think I'm going to go for power. I mean, there's chaos too. It does have it. I don't know. I mean, it could go life as well, but no. Chaos would normally be the move here, but there's 2 smelling salts in the power option, so I have to go power since I need these 2 smelling salts. Unfortunately, my stats are not good enough to make 1 smelling salt last the rest of the raid. Next up, we have the Path of Het, which, to be honest, this puzzle room is just annoying. I just don't like it at all. I mean, it's not even that hard of a room, to be honest. You just have to bounce the light beam from one statue to another using a series of mirrors that you have to set up, and you just avoid the shadow balls, which give you damage, but it's just an annoying room, I guess. I just don't like it. The third boss we have to take on is Akka. This is without a doubt one of the most punishing bosses in this raid. If you get your prayer wrong, it hits you hard. If you mess up a mechanic, you get hit hard. Even when you're praying correctly, you still get hit through prayer. Plus, it also has one of the worst last phases out of any boss in this game. You're about to see the Invocation Feeling Special in action. This is probably one of my favorite ones, weirdly enough. So it gives you the pattern, and then you have 2 ticks to avoid all of the attacks within the middle. I actually like it because it makes the raid faster, but it is punishing if you mess up. So that Simon Says attack should be coming up here any moment again. Yep. So in this situation, I guess it can get a little difficult, but again, I actually like it. I don't mind it at all. Plus, I'm still able to get the DPS out. And the Alchemy Room's been going actually pretty well for me so far. I haven't taken any unnecessary damage, but I have used a decent amount of supplies. But again, that's just the Alchemy Room for you. So far, so good. But again, we are coming up on the last phase, aka my least favorite phase out of any boss whatsoever. My least favorite mechanic, the orb phase. You have to avoid these orbs while also hitting Akka and getting rid of his HP. And he travels around the room as well every couple of hits. I don't even know truly how the mechanics work. Maybe it's every 4 hits. I don't know. But so far, bad. Okay, I was about to say so far, so good. I really hate this phase a lot. That's really good DPS. If I mess this up, I could die and the whole run would be gone, but I am avoiding it so far pretty nicely. I'm doing an okay job so far, and this really sucks. Okay, I spoke too soon. I spoke way too soon. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, this really sucks with low DPS, and I have to be so careful. If 2 orbs hit me in a row and I don't watch my HP, I could just get wiped out entirely. That's the run gone. This thing is so close to dead, and I'm so close to dead. Come on, dude. 7 HP, please die. Thank you. Oh my gosh. That did, I mean, I have a lot of brews, so like that's good because I'm gonna need them, but this next boss, I am not looking forward to it. I would have liked to have been left with more supplies. The last path up is the Path of Apmechan, which is by far the worst path in my opinion. I really dislike the puzzle room for this path since it's basically the only combat puzzle room in the entire raid, which means it's going to waste my supplies. Plus, it's just also not fun in my opinion. Basically, anyone that does this raid agrees that this is the worst puzzle room out of the 4. I definitely should have prayer flicked this room, man. Now I'm basically going into Baba with like 1 restore. The 4th boss that we have to take on is Baba. This will be my most difficult room by far, since Baba essentially has 3 waves. She basically always hits you through prayer. She has minions that attack you and also open up the sarcophagi located all around the room, which deals AoE damage. She has a shockwave attack that deals massive damage if you're caught in it. Basically, this boss will be the hardest boss out of the first 4. Well, I definitely did save the worst for last. I'm only doing this with 1 restore, and I do have a lot of brews, which is good, but I don't know if I'm gonna make it past this, to be honest. The problem with this room is that even if I do everything right, my DPS needs to remain up. Otherwise, I could just go through all of my supplies and not even have a chance to finish this room, and I messed that up. Oh god. I really want to make sure I can get rid of these things before they open up the sarcophagi, but it's looking like that's not going to happen because, again, I just can't deal that much DPS to them. I might just have to not even focus on them whatsoever. This is another attack, by the way, that no matter what, I'm just going to get dealt damage. Like, there's so many mechanics in this room that even if you do everything right, you're just gonna get DPS'd out. Like, it's just an inevitability. All right, this should be the end of his first wave, or whatever you want to call it, like his first, like, section. And this is actually kind of a nice break, although there's 3 sarcophagi open, so maybe not actually. Normally I would use these boulders with a blowpipe special attack to heal, but I don't actually need any HP at the moment. And normally I would also run right by them because the boulders are going slow, but this is just easy on a main account, but not easy on this account. This is starting to get a bit out of control here. Like, there's a lot of sarcophagi open. I just keep getting dealt damage. That's kind of unavoidable in a way. Well, I mean, it is avoidable, but like, this is just like the worst room, man. This is the worst room, and I have to start prayer flicking because my restore is low. I only have 1 of them. My brews, I'm doing okay on them, but I just keep getting DPS like this. And now this monkey over here is opening up another sarcophagus. Oh my god. This is so rough. This is so brutal. No, I messed up. Oh my gosh. That could have been the wipe right there. I mean, it still could be if I'm not careful. And I got 77 range in the middle of all that. Like, cool, I guess. But like, I kind of don't want to celebrate right now, to be honest. I think this should be the last boulder. I'm just going to chill back here because I just need to play this as safe as possible. I need to brew up as well. And that is my last restore. Hopefully, we can make that last. We are so close, dude. Come on, just die. Just die. 11 HP. Please. Like, look how much havoc there is in this room. Thank you. Look at, like, there's so many different sarcophagi open. That was brutal. Okay, so now we can go for the life supply drop because this should be more than enough supplies to actually take on the 5th and final boss. The final bosses of this raid that we have to take on are the Wardens. This fight consists of multiple phases, but the good part is that a lot of damage can be avoided. It's time to jump right in. This is pretty much the only section in this entire raid where you deliberately have to take damage, but it's not for that long. It's just until one of these Wardens attacks, and I'll show you what I mean by that in a minute. Any minute. There we go. So now he throws down like these microwaves. I don't know, you would really call them like the ancient microwaves. And now there's going to be another attack And now we step over here. So if I didn't take that damage, those would have hit me at the same time, and you just get wiped out. They pretty much just rotate between those two attacks, and then they both shoot balls of energy at you, which is just unavoidable damage once again. And then they repeat the cycle. That is phase 1 done and dusted. Now it's on to phase 2. We did take a decent bit of damage there, but again, it's unavoidable. So this is where the trident finally comes into play. Some of you might have been wondering why I haven't used it yet. It is for this phase specifically. This part of the fight really isn't that terribly hard, since all you really have to do is just avoid the traps that he throws at you and get your prayers right. But the crappy part about it is, even if you do get all your prayers right, you still get DPS. Like, I'm still getting hit through my prayer despite me getting all the prayers right. I think that I'm still going to have enough supplies to take on the final part of this boss, but we are going to have to play this perfectly. So this part coming up is why I needed to bring a light bearer in here. I'm going to drink my liquid adrenaline, which is going to make my special attack reduced to half. And something that I love about this raid is that the DDS is actually best in slot for this part specifically, since you always hit your max melee hit on this thing. So this is the best DPS at this part. And the light barrier comes into play here because it regenerates your special attack twice as fast. Having those two combined speeds up this fight by a lot, which in turn means less supplies used. This is his second time down here, and he's about to get up, but thanks to the light bearer, I only have to do this phase one more time as opposed to another 2 or potentially even 3. And this should be the second phase completed. So now we only have one last phase to go. This part of the fight is basically my favorite part of any raid, since if you have your mechanics down pat here, you basically will take no damage. The fight of course starts off easy, but it gets more difficult as time goes on. Basically all I have to do right now is just avoid these tiles that he hits. So any minute now he should be spawning one of his first minions, which I think is going to be Zabak. Yeah, so now I have to make sure that I just pray correctly with whatever Zabak hits me with, which again, this part is really not that difficult. I would say it doesn't actually get difficult until the very end of the fight. So now we're coming up on the second minion spawn, which should be Baba. So now I have to avoid Baba's attacks, which is just going to be like those stone throw attacks. And I also have to make sure that I'm praying correctly against Zabak. But again, not terribly hard in my opinion. Like one more hit or something and this raid is going to kick into overdrive. There it is. So this is the last part of the raid, but it is the most difficult part of the raid. As of right now, it's not terrible. I just have to avoid these lightnings and make sure I pray the correct thing and avoid the stones. So far, so good, but we are running out of real estate here. I am about to not have that much room to actually fight the wardens, so I need to get as much DPS as I can get. This is so close. We're about to run out of room, but the supplies are still good, so there is a good amount of hope left. Come on. Come on. Get the damage. 33 HP. Come on. Dude, come on. One more hit, please. Yes! Yes! Oh my gosh. There we go. That feels so good, man. This actually feels better than when I completed this raid at an expert level 350. Oh man, I would not do this raid with these stats again. I would absolutely get higher stats, but I wanted to prove that I could actually do it. So there we go. It's done. We were able to bring a level 3 to a raid completion in under 200 hours. This was 7 days and 19 hours or 187 hours total. Now there's still one question that remains. Did we actually get a purple from completing this raid? No, we did not. We did actually get like 300k though, which is pretty good. So here's the thing. I know that I could get this time down by a lot. I mean, I splashed my magic after all. But even with this slower route that I took, I was able to complete something that is considered to be end game content in less than 200 hours of gameplay. In real time, this took me a little over 3 weeks from start to finish. Now, during all this, I figured out how I can actually beat this time with the first raid, the Chambers of Zarek. If you want to see that, then let me know down below. So now that I'm done with this account, what should I do with it?